What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to Monday Night Madness. I'm Spicy Raider Girl here with Omar and Arthur. And after that embarrassing, abysmal mockery of a performance, is it too late for the Raiders? Can it get any worse? Or can it only get better from here? Let's talk about it. Remember, light that torch, hit that like button, subscribe, and join to become a member. And you can also, I know everyone out there probably wants to rant, so hit that StreamYard link and join us if you want to get on and rant with us, because today is your day. I'm going to let my boys here go ahead and get their rant out first. So Omar, Arthur, one of y'all take the stage.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, it's a kick in the balls. And I'm going to say metaphorical balls, because I think we all got punched in the gut. I know I thought that, you know what? We play hard against our division rival. You know, the team said they got a needed win against the Titans. We know the Titans was a bad team, but hey, winning those games you were supposed to win had you like, okay, you know what I mean? No one expected to go into Kansas City, get blown out, even worse than the blowout against the Colts, because hell, at least we got a field goal. We couldn't even get a field goal. We were shut out of scoring. Period.
2 field goals against the Colts and only two touchdowns in the last 3 games.
Yeah. Right. I mean, and I gotta say, both sides of the ball did not look like they had any fight, dude. You know, Pete Carroll, your whole thing was compete, and those boys did not look like they were competing at all. I mean, our lines were getting bullied. It was bad. It was just bad, man. You know, whether Max Crosby were in or out, it was bad. So that
wasn't as bad as that rant as I expected.
Buckle up.
Buckle up, okay.
I'll tell you right now, I am as pissed off as I've ever been as a Raider fan. For those people watching, I'm sure you guys are in the same boat. Spicy, I know you and Mother Moon are season ticket holders. I'm a season ticket holder. I've been a season ticket holder for 19 years. My son is 15 years old. I started buying his season ticket since he was 2 days old. Omar, you watched my kids grow up, and you know, when you had your season tickets in Oakland, I watched your kids grow up. I feel like Raider fans are the hardest, most blue-collar fans of any fan base in any sport. We work hard to make our money, and we take our hard-earned money and spend it on this team. I spend thousands. My family spends thousands of dollars a year on this team. I live in California, obviously. I travel to Vegas. I travel to other cities. Spicy. Oh, we went to Miami together a couple years ago. Oh, we were in New Orleans. I've been to Seattle. I've been all over to watch this team. My family has a break in front of Allegiant Stadium. Okay, I feel like that as a fan base, as fans, we work hard and we have a commitment to excellence to this team. I don't feel that this team right now is giving us back the same commitment to excellence. I would love for this podcast to get to Mark Davis. Mark, you grew up watching your dad, bleed for this team, die for this team, do everything he could to make this team better. And I get it. You're a businessman. You're making your billions, and good for you. But there is no commitment to excellence at all. And you should be ashamed of it. You should be upset. Alpha Omega forever. You put it in the chat. That's what I was going to talk about. Everybody from Spy Tech to Pete Carroll, anybody that has anything to do with putting this team together should have been in Mark Davis's office first thing this morning, and they should have been explaining what they're doing to make this team better. Because I don't want to fire another regime, because I don't think that's the answer, but we have to do something to make this team better. Like I said, people watching, we're not just a group of fans that kind of get together on a Monday and maybe have a drink and talk. We all are committed, hardcore fans that travel and spend thousands of dollars on this team, and we are committed to this team. We're committed to this podcast, and we are not getting the same thing back from this team.
Not at all. And I
like the rant. I like the rant, Arthur. I'll skip out on mine, and I'll just say, like, I double what you said.
I mean, and then I think it's also like how you report, oh, Chip Kelly has conversations with Tom Brady. What the fuck is it doing then?
Right. Yeah.
I don't. Well, you bring in Tom Brady. He hasn't done anything. I mean, because if all we got out of Tom Brady is Spy Tech, I'm like, dude, there's all kind of holes showing up in his draft right now. You know what I mean? When you basically only got 2 picks that look like they were good for something out of all your picks. So, and your offseason, well, just look at the secondary, and that tells you about the offseason. And it's just holes. So I'm scratching my head that how the hell do you say, okay, we're going to go from an inexperienced coach to one of the most experienced coaches. We bring in Tom Brady's guy in Spytech, who is supposed to be the next great up-and-coming general manager, who's going to work hand in hand with Pete Carroll, and then we get this product. You know, you're mixing up this batch. This is your mix, your ingredients. You know what I mean? You got your coaches. Pete Carroll got everything he wanted. He got his coaches. He wanted to keep Graham. He kept Graham. He brought in Chip. Chip is the highest paid coordinator in the league, I believe.
Yes, highest paid.
You go get a veteran quarterback, not a rookie. Now you go get a veteran. And let's just say, I think Spicy was talking about this in the chats. I was a little busy and I wasn't keeping up with it too much. But how does Joe Flacco, who's a freaking veteran, go over from on third team 2 weeks into the playbook and kill a divisional rival, put up 33 points? Yeah. But you got a veteran.
That's the part I don't understand. I don't understand how you can get any group of professionals on the field and perform this poorly 7 weeks into it. To that point, right? You should be able to get any group of professionals on the field and they should be able to perform better than that. Let's look at some of the numbers here because it was a total domination on the other side. These numbers are mind-blowing. They're embarrassing. If you made this up, nobody would even think this were real. I mean, 434 to 96, 10 times more first downs than the Raiders. 3 first downs. The Chiefs had more yards in the first quarter than the Raiders did the entire game, and they ended up pulling Mahomes in the third quarter. And then in victory formation with 2.5 minutes left, 3 timeouts, and a 2-minute warning. They don't need, I mean, listen, at that point, there's no coming back. But to your point, Omar, do we want to see the Chiefs compete? Look what the Broncos did yesterday. Can you at least compete and act like you want to not put a fucking goose egg up on the scoreboard and maybe do something? I don't know.
All right. I mean, I hate to keep bringing up AP, but he would have lost his shit in the locker room, win or lose, if he didn't see fight. And then to hear Pete Carroll go up there, defend. And then, Kansas City, they're a really, really good team. Motherfucker, we know that. But where's your fight? Don't tell us what we don't know. Don't sit here and Geno's tough. Dude, Geno and tough. I don't care about being tough. I want to see him play well.
And look at these numbers here across the board, right? We'll go into time of possession. First down. The first down one's probably the most embarrassing. I don't know. We can debate if total yards or first downs is. I don't know. Third down percentage, 0. Red zone percentage, 0. Rushing yards, 25.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and the attempts, rushing yards, attempt 2.3, passing yards, 3.7. These have got to be some of the worst and lowest numbers.
I think it's either the worst ever or second. No, I think it's literally we broke a record of being the worst offensive outing or second worst of all time, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The Raiders are always breaking records. They're just not the right ones, unfortunately. And if you're playing along with us, I like it. Drinking game alert, fix it.
Right?
You playing along with us, you know what to do. Just fix it. Or just drink because, hey.
Yeah.
Right.
0 to 30.
And I think another slap in the face is this, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, is this $48 million in cap space we sat on, or whatever it was, that we could have used to get better players in free agency. What are we saving money? Is that money going to that new mansion that Mark Davis is building or something? I mean, I don't know. It's obviously going to his women's basketball team because they're winning. I think that's what they're funneling money over there and shit. Gotta be.
Not only that, but we're not even playing any that we've talked about it for weeks. We're not even playing any of the players that we drafted. Like,
right? Are they that bad?
Killed, and Darian Porter sitting on the sideline. You drafted Darian Porter for a reason. If he's your guy and you drafted him, Pete, why isn't he getting a run? We drafted 2 offensive linemen in the 3rd round. Neither one of them were sniffing the field. We're putting it out. We're pulling JPJ for whatever reason. Fine, but it's personal, I think. But whatever. And we're putting Alex Kappa in there. Like, are we drafting players that aren't ready to help us win? Like, that's not a winning mentality either. So if you're drafting players high in these high rounds, they should be able to step in after 7 weeks and help us win.
I mean, because Kai Blue Kelly or whatever his name is, dude. I'm like,
yeah,
if Porter can't do better than him, we dead. Spytech, man, he needs to go back to the school of GMing or something, you know.
Well,
I'm
like I said, these are the players you picked.
It's not looking good. We knew, I mean, we're not doing Ashton Genty any good.
0
with what we got. I feel bad. If any player on that field right now I feel really bad for is Ashton Genty, because I look at his running style. I look what he can do when he has a little bit of daylight. And then most of the time, defenders are in the backfield tackling him for a loss. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this kid is going to waste his rookie. We're wasting his rookie season. You know what I mean? On what we're doing with him right now. And we're racing these other guys' rookie season, because why not? Kai Blue Kelly hasn't shown us anything really that would make us miss him if they put in Porter. I mean, I'd rather see Porter make all those mistakes.
Genty had 6 carries yesterday.
Yeah.
6 carries.
Right.
Out of a number 6 overall pick, he had 6 carries. I think the Chiefs had more first downs than we ran plays. Like, that's another stat. That's ridiculous. They had more first downs and plays, total offensive plays we ran in an entire 4-quarter game.
It's terrible.
30 total plays against 30 first down. You just said it right there, Arthur. So with that said, how's Genty going to get that many touches when they have 30 total plays?
Yeah.
So we did. Actually, the percentage is kind of high if you look at it that way. 6 out of 30. You know, not saying that that's good, but yeah, that's just embarrassing. And then you know, we talked about some of the draft picks. They finally put Pickett in at the end there, and
he looked bad.
He couldn't even handle a snap.
Right.
He looked bad.
Dude fumbled a snap. He couldn't even handle a snap.
Like, yeah. And the sad part is I still don't have the feeling that we haven't seen the last of Geno. I think they did that, but yet it would not surprise me if they just, you know, here comes week after next, after the bye.
100%.
Here's Geno. And I got to ask, does that mean, and you know what? I'm not even going to say, does that mean? I'm going to just make the assumption that means no one else looks better than he does.
No,
and that's
exactly. That's what I was going to say. Who are you going to put in? The guy that can't take a snap, or the guy with the broken wrist, or whatever it is? Like,
I'm going to make that assumption that we're putting the best we got.
I feel this regime is worse than the McDummy era, when I just think that this coaching staff has their favorite players that they like, and that's who they're playing, and that's who they're going to rely on, and that's who they want to do, you know, build everything around or try to get everything going with. And there's no other way out. Like I said, it's just ridiculous.
I think that's the case. I think we have a good coaching staff that has an extremely bad case of tunnel vision. Yes. They want to see what they want to see. We saw McDummy does that and it's just what they don't understand. And in today's football, it takes a long time to do that. Either you're going to get lucky and someone has to be smart enough to match the coach with the players.
Yes.
Or if you're going to match the players with the coach, that can take a long time to start weeding through players and free agency and draft to finally get the guys to match. You need smart coaches that can build with what they got. And I just think that Pete Carroll is probably good at what he does, and he probably is just not good at anything else. I mean, I hate to say that, and I didn't think that was the case. I thought he was more of a player's coach and knew how to get the best out of people, and I think what he's showing us is complete opposite, which makes me think, okay, could this be just the worst, slowest start ever, and then maybe towards the end of the season, these guys finally start getting it, you know what I mean? But it took so damn long because we didn't coach to their strengths, which really, really sucks. You know what I mean? Because we saw the type of people he wants, you know, the tall corners, the tall safeties. Okay, but can you put these guys in the best position for their skill set as well? You know what I mean? So, and we're just not getting it, unfortunately. And I stomped for Pete Carroll. I'm not gonna lie. I stomped for him. Like, hey, you know what?
Absolutely.
I didn't want AP to get fired, but okay, it happened. Nothing I can do. What do I see next on the field of coaches out there? Pete Carroll was one of my guys. You know, of course, I like some of the big name new guys as well, but Pete Carroll was like a very acceptable option. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Well, hello. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. And I don't like Pete Carroll's news conferences.
Yeah.
I'm just like, dude, I can't even hear it. I'm just like, what, dude? You stop defending these guys and just kind of, we're not. Has he? And I don't know anybody. Has he said we're not competing? Has he just admitted we're not competitive right now? Like we ain't competing because you're not.
No.
Yeah.
And he needs to just go ahead and say it. He needs to talk to the locker room. You know what I mean? Because you see La'alu all of a sudden looking like a beast and then disappear.
Yep.
Now, when you got players being inconsistent, I mean, we were all very happy to get some healthy players back from last year. And I'm brain farting. What's the DN on the other side? Malcolm Kuntz. We're all excited. Oh my goodness, Kuntz this is supposed to have been Kuntz's breakout season.
Yep.
He ain't broke shit.
Yeah. Haven't heard his name.
What? Kuntz is looking like number 9.
Yeah.
Number 9 looking better than Kuntz. I'm sorry. Let's just face it. Number 9 he's been doing more than Kuntz right now. So what happened? How can somebody that we knew until they got injured was playing well, all of a sudden fall off? I mean, that's just a mystery to me, man. How do you coach down like that with all that experience, a Super Bowl, championship in the college level? You know what I mean? Champ Kelly was offensive coordinator on the championship team. You come here, how does that happen? Patrick Graham, he's been our defensive coordinator for 3 seasons now?
3 seasons, yeah. And Coach well.
Right. And in spite that, you let go of our whole secondary except for one guy.
Yep.
And what was the expectations there?
We beat the table to keep Patrick Graham. Like, yeah.
I still think that was a good move.
100%.
But when you let go of all his guys, and you let go of his guys in the backfield, in the secondary, and not re-sign them so that he has some continuity back there, even if you're just waiting, even if you got the guys you think will be better at some point, how come not start with the guys that know the system and then, hey, now, you're Darian Porter, who may be taller than the guy we traded to the Eagles or whatnot. You know what I mean? Then you start kind of weeding these guys in as they get better, but you start off with a brand new secondary and they look like garbage, man. That whole zone defense, I mean, it's just, how come I was sitting there looking and I saw Kelce get wide. I'm like, how come we can't get that wide open?
Yeah.
like seriously. I'm like, that other kid, I don't even know his damn name. Like, you were nobody until you played the Raiders, and now you're looking like a beast out there catching the ball because there's this huge, gigantic hole. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Something else.
All right, let's get into some comments, guys. We have some good comments in here. If you want to join us and rant, the link is at the top. You can join us and appear on camera with us and let you know what you think. Like, kind of still want to discuss, and we're throughout the vibe of the show here, is can it get any worse or will it get better? Will we even get to the 4 games to match the 4 wins last season? And if we do, who's left that we can beat? Who's realistic with who's left in our schedule that the Raiders can really beat here? Just a couple talking points if you want to come on and let us know what you think about those. Will they get to 4? Maybe 4, maybe. I don't know many more than that. It's gonna be tough. But real quick, let me just take a second to pause here because I do want to recognize something that happened to one of the former Raiders players. He played in the Raiders in 2018. Yeah. He passed away, unfortunately, I think at the early morning of this. Was it this morning or maybe yesterday morning? Okay. It was yesterday? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we don't really know what happened yet. They said that there was a medical issue, but at the end of the day, he ended up dying, and he was in Oakland in OPD's care. Or, let's say care, but anyway, besides the point. I just want to give a shout out to him because, like they say, once a Raider, always a Raider.
Right. Tragic, man.
Yeah.
Tragic. Yeah.
But we have somebody backstage who we're going to let her have her
right.
I think Omar's been waiting
screaming.
For this one. I'm just going to sit back.
I heard her yelling AOC.
Weird happening.
I'm just going to drink and let her go.
I'm just going to sit here with my pinky up and have my little drinks. I fix it a few times. What's good, April?
What's up, April?
They're lucky I'm wearing this damn freaking hoodie. Shit. Oh man.
All right, give us your rant, girl. Here's your time to shine. And anybody else who wants to rant, they can join us on screen too. But you have the floor.
I just feel like I'm always ranting, and I'm always ranting about the right things. Everybody's always telling me I'm ranting about the wrong things. But it's October. It's almost Halloween. Let's see if Mark Davis pulls another Joker out of his hat on Halloween night and fires somebody. I can't stand Gino. I don't like anything that's going on. I mean, they didn't make any adjustments at all. At all. They should have tried to put Kenny in like the second quarter. Like, why are you putting him in the fourth quarter where there's like 4 minutes left? I'm like, at this point, how embarrassing was that? And he couldn't even catch a snap. I was like, oh my God, like, give me a jersey. I'm ready. Put me in, coach. Shit.
Well, the good thing is, like what you said real quick, they needed to make some adjustments, which they needed to make adjustments within the first 5 minutes. But the good thing is they are going into a bye week. Hopefully this is an awakening for them. Hopefully they can make those adjustments. Hopefully we can get our players healed. There are some injuries going on as well. So maybe this is a good time to make those adjustments and reset. But
it looks so bad. We just look terrible. Both offense and defense looked terrible. I don't know what was going on up in the booths, but it was definitely. And I've noticed the last couple of weeks, maybe not even maybe the last 2 weeks, because Gino can't throw, and then now they're getting afraid. They're going back to these old playbooks with these little 5-yard slants. I mean, I don't know if anybody else noticed it, but I'm tired of seeing all these little 5-yard slants across. I'm like, okay, really? We got McDummy back in the building because this is nuts. Like, Genty couldn't even run. I don't know what was going on. I don't even know. Half the time I didn't even watch the game because every time I turned around, Kansas City had the ball. And then at one point it was like 20. Oh my God, it was awful. It was absolute awful. I just want to know moving forward what they plan on doing. 3 years ago when they made that silly move of drafting that quarterback from Purdue, why couldn't they just stick with that? Whether he's going to be a backup or not, they really didn't give him anything. Nothing. This poor kid he's been sloppy seconds this whole time. It's crazy to me. If you would have had him and you would have given him what he needed, instead of having all these goofy ass coaches that you bring in every year, we might have something. I'm not saying he's a franchise quarterback, but I'm saying it could be better than what we have now because Gino ain't it.
And can I comment just on that, April? I want to hear.
Tell me.
I want to hear more. But we went and got Pickett on a team that also had Joe Flacco, who we saw go light it up. And I'm just like, are we that bad at picking who could actually help us when, let's just say, the Browns were open to trade any of them? They would have traded Flacco like they did, or Kenny Pickett. And we picked Kenny Pickett instead of Joe Flacco. And I'm just wondering, because I keep talking about Spy Tech and I'm talking about our draft picks. I'm talking about what we did in free agency and how it just does not look like we brought in the right guys for this. And I think it's really evident, if you just think about that one trade right there, that when both of those guys were sitting on that team, we went for Pickett instead of for Flacco. And we just saw what Flacco did against the Steelers, who's not a bad team, after 2 weeks of being on the Bengals.
10 days.
To that
10 days.
Exactly, 10 days. But to that point, that's why I am not ever really thrilled with everyone's idea of let's trade this person, and that person, and draft pick. Because really, they're, like you just said, right? They're not really good, haven't been historically that good at assessing talent and drafting talent. So I don't want to sit here and let's say get rid of our best players so we can get some draft picks, and then they go and F that up too. Like, that doesn't appeal to me.
You don't trade great players for draft picks. You use draft picks to get great players.
There you go.
Yeah.
But I hate to say this though, and I'm gonna touch on this lightly because I'm gonna lose friends. I hate to say it though, but I see Max Crosby? He was banged up last season, slowed him down. He's starting to be.
Sorry, we have technical difficulties. Omar, we can't hear you. We lost connection. Sorry, we'll have to. Sorry. Okay. Nope. Sorry. Nope. He's lost.
All right. Fine. I'm just. Y'all picking up what I'm putting down, and I don't know if we should or shouldn't, but I'm just like, man, at this point, okay, I'm gonna skip that. We got the bye week.
Everybody, hold on. Let me talk about that real quick.
Before you move.
Here's my thing about that, Omar. Let me say one thing about that, Omar. I'll tell you right now. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I was a big proponent when they traded Khalil Mack. I was like, hey,
I hated
this is
it.
what we need to do. I hated it, but I was like, this is what this team needs to do to get better.
I hated it.
We need the picks, blah, blah, blah. Do we trust this regime, like Spicy just said, to be good enough talent evaluators to, if we do trade Max, don't want to say it out loud, we've got to say it, if we were to trade him, to bring in draft picks to get those picks and use those picks in a way to help us? I don't know. I don't know if I trust it. I mean, if you tell me that if we trade Max right now in 2025, in 2027, we're going to make the playoffs, in 2028, we're going to compete for a Super Bowl. Okay.
I mean, the only reason why I'm saying that
real quick, because we have someone else backstage, so I want to give April one last chance. If she
go for it, April.
There's. I mean, it's just I bitch every time I'm on here. You know my whatever it is. I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna say, "Told you so." Should have been AOC, but whatever. It should have been AOC last season. Whatever. We're here. What do we do to fix it? What can we do? What do we need? Because I don't hate the players. I fucking hate Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll's son, Pete Carroll. They all got to move them around. Make them be water boys. I don't care, but get them out. Then get them out of there because they suck. Fix it.
Mic drop.
Definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Backstage, we're going to let them take the mic as well. What's good? We have Josh joining us. What's good, Josh?
What's up, Josh?
How's it going, guys? This is my first time ever calling into the show, I believe.
I appreciate you, man. Speak your piece, brother.
I'm also called the Hobo Raider, just so you guys know. That's my Raider identity. So it's for future reference. But that's because I used to be a homeless guy, but now I've got a master's degree. So I turn my life around, and I've always been a Raiders fan. So I just called myself the Hobo Raider. But
now that's saying something, because that means you're intelligent and you're still a fan. I mean, I got to hear this. This.
Well, I can't be that intelligent if I'm still a fan. So
that's how I feel sometimes, John's like, shit.
Yeah. No, but I used to be one of those alcoholic people that you see on the corners with cardboard signs that say homeless, please help and whatever. But I sobered up 8 years ago, and I got into college, and then I graduated my undergrad with honors. That was Iowa State University. And then I just got a master's degree from the University of Iowa 5 months ago. So
that's amazing. Congratulations, brother, man. That is so awesome, my friend.
Appreciate it. I'm actually going to be starting my own channel sometime soon. I don't know when, but I'm going to talk about Raider football and my life in the streets and how I came out of it.
There you go.
But you know what? What's kind of getting me about Raider Nation, because I'm subscribed to a lot of different Raider YouTube channels now. Everybody's talking about quarterback, and we need a quarterback, and we need to draft a quarterback, or we need to go get a good quarterback. There isn't a quarterback on earth that can save our situation right now. You could put Patrick Mahomes behind on this team, and I don't want to say it wouldn't make a difference. He'd certainly play better than Geno, but it wouldn't get us victories. There's so many holes in this team. There's so many things that need not just upgrades, but major upgrades, that no quarterback can save this team. So the only thing I can think of is we do have some cap space money.
Right.
But why did we spend it?
Why are they holding it?
$48 million. Why didn't we spend it?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I think probably part of the reason that Spytech didn't spend that at first, because he just first got here this year, right?
Yeah.
So he probably wants time to implement his guys, and maybe during the off season, that's when he's going to use his cap space money to go and get guys that he trusts to play on the team or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know it's not that simple, but you know what I mean. He's going to have his scouts getting better players for us, but we just don't have the players to compete at the NFL level right now. That's just the truth.
Yeah. And
I think yesterday proved that we're just not an NFL team right now. I go on 401 Raider Jeff's channel a lot. I don't know if you know him. But I said, the Raiders don't even belong in the NFL right now. We belong in the CFL. You know what I'm saying? We are, bad in every way, but there's no one fix is my point. Everybody and half the commenters and all these pages and half the podcasters, they're all looking for one fix, whether it's the O-line, whether it's the quarterback. There is no one fix. We are bad at every level, and we need to just, I think, embrace a full entire rebuild. That's what I would do.
I 100% agree with you, Josh. I know you're new to this channel or new to our cast, but what do you think about the fact of Spytech and Pete after their first draft? We just kind of talked about it a little bit. They just had their first draft in April, and they're not playing any of these players. I mean, if they're trying to bring in their guys and put them at their positions, and I get it, we need a lot. You're right. There's not one quarterback, one offensive tackle, one wide receiver that's going to fix this team. But if we're drafting players and they already had a draft and they brought in their players, we're not playing them. So we're not taking their offensive scheme, their defensive scheme, their player scheme, and implementing into this team to make this team better.
Yeah, well, I've said for like 3 weeks that we need to try Caleb Rogers out.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if he's as bad as Kappa, he's got room to grow.
He's got to be better than Kappa. I mean, if we drafted him, we drafted him in the 3rd round. Porter, same thing. Darian Porter, he can't do worse than Kai Blue Kelly. I mean, there's
what do we have to lose?
Yeah.
We're already losing games.
Speaking of players and everything, a big part of the problem is Pete's decisions on the entire O-line is playing in positions that they were not meant for.
100%. Yes.
You got JPJ at guard, and he's supposed to be a center. You got Meredith at center. He's supposed to be a guard. Kappa's playing out of his normal position too. Even Stone Forsythe. You know what I'm saying? Right. I mean, the Colton Miller. I mean, that hurts us. You know what I'm saying? But
100%.
If people were playing in their own position
last week, this team desperately misses Colton Miller. The offense completely misses Colton Miller. It's obvious. I said it last week on the podcast. So. But I just think that if we've already had a draft and we've brought in players, and I see you, Big Al, you're right. Charles Grant's another player we need to be putting in there and give him a shot. Like, I mean, we drafted players and 3rd round draft picks. Those are pretty high draft picks. You know what I mean?
Who's the promising corner? What's his name? I forget. The promising cornerback.
Porter.
Porter. Yes, we need to put him out there more.
Yeah. That's what we've been talking about. So that's my thing is I don't understand what direction we're going in. If Pete needs to come out and say, listen, these players they're close, or we're just trying to let them sit for a little something. Give me something as a fan, like I talked about at the beginning of the show, that makes me want to continue to spend my hard-earned money on this team and go there and continue to watch, because I just don't see a direction. At least with McDummy, he gave us his direction. It wasn't a good one, but he said, this is what I'm doing, this is where I'm going. I haven't got that from Pete. All I'm hearing is compete, but no one's competing for their jobs. The only person competing for his job on this team ever has been JPJ. He's the only one that's had to compete for a position.
Yeah, Pete's got some kind of personal issue with JPJ. I don't know what it is, but I think he benched him first last night, or was it yesterday afternoon actually? And JPJ is the only real solid guy we've got on the line right now. So I don't know what he's thinking. Like, do you really expect him to be able to hang with Chris Jones one-on-one? He's good, but he ain't that good. Right. And there's no way Pete should have expected him to be that good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who hangs with Chris Jones one-on-one?
The player mismanagement. We talked about, Josh, we talked about on this show a couple weeks ago. We called it player mismanagement of, not, like you said, not having people in positions where we think they should thrive in. Maybe they're seeing something in practice that we're not, right? We're not at these practices, so we don't know. Maybe Kappa can't do a better job, and maybe shifting Meredith to guard. Is he still JPJ still better out of position than Meredith is in position? That's the only kind of logical explanation that I can think of. Because other than that, it seems like, why aren't you just putting these guys in their positions?
Right.
Yeah. Well, we only know what we see on the field, but what I see on the field is Meredith is not good at, like, he can't even get the snaps right. You know what I mean? Remember that one game like 3 weeks ago when every snap was like a super high or super low snap, or there was some sort of problem with every single snap?
Yeah.
Meredith cannot play the center position. Even if he's doing it good in practice, he's doing it good in practice because he's playing against the Raiders in practice. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth. But we need a full rebuild. That's the only thing I can see that can really help this team get to stay a Super Bowl within, say, 4 years.
So let me pose this question to you, Josh, because we've said this on the show over and over again. Like, we're kind of sick of firing and starting over, and we need to see the each coaching staff plan coming to fruition and stuff. But what does that mean to you? What do you see when you say full rebuild? What does that mean? Like, what do you want done? What would you want done?
What's his name is probably going to be gone this week. I'm sorry, his name is escaping me. The receiver. He's our best receiver too. Dang it.
Jacoby Myers.
Yes, Jacoby. I'm sorry.
Not getting traded. Yep, I agree with that.
I'm pretty sure Trey is looking for a way out of here too. To be honest with you, no one said that, but I just have the feeling like he doesn't like what's going on around here, right? I don't know how to do it. Like, I'm not a football expert. I probably don't even have the football knowledge that you guys have, much less like the coaches have. But what we're doing is not working, and we kept most of the same players that we had from last season, right? Or at least a lot of them. So that's obviously not working for us. We just don't have the talent, and we sure as heck don't have any depth going on. So
yeah, that's true. That's always been a problem.
Here's the thing: get better scouts. That would be my one idea. We have horrible scouts, like you were saying earlier. Scouts that draft people and stuff like this. We need to figure out how to get some better scouts in the office so that we can start drafting and recruiting some better players. That would be my one answer, I guess.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on that. And like I think you probably heard me say, that's why I did jokingly mute Omar out. That's like, besides the fact that I love Mad Max, he's one of the best players not even on the team, obviously, but in the league. That's my reservation. So you want to say, we should trade him for draft picks, and then we're not even being able. Over the years, we haven't been able to get quality draft picks. So we're going to risk one of the best players in the league on a and we don't even know who's going to be the GM the next year and the year after that and the year after that to choose these people.
You know who I would trade Max for?
Max for that, you know?
We saw
you know who I would trade Max for, though?
Tell me.
I would trade Max for like a good corner, or like a good established corner, like a Marshawn Lattimore, and like maybe a second or third rounder.
Oh,
so bring somebody like what?
No, it'd have to be Marshawn Lattimore's too. It's got to be at least the first. Yeah. If you don't get a first round draft pick for Max Crosby, everybody should be fired. That's it. I mean, a player and a first round pick, or it's got to be like the Khalil Mack deal where you're getting multiple firsts.
But Lattimore is like one of the top 5 corners in the league. Isn't he still like on that level?
But he's a little long in the tooth right now. So I mean, that's one of those things where you're bringing
in somebody on his level. I mean, it doesn't have to be him, but somebody on his level.
With that, like somebody established already, not just picks, right? I just think that's kind of the overall point.
Yeah, because I mean, I think
I'm not really on board for that either, but I think that's what you're saying.
I think establishing a really good secondary, like let's say some miracle happens and during the bye week, we go out and buy a couple of really good cornerbacks, right, from other teams. I think that'll change our trajectory in a major way. Not that we'll automatically become a playoff team, but if we have like really good shutdown corners, then it almost doesn't matter if our defensive line can't get a pass rush, because we'll be like a bend don't break defense. We won't be giving up a lot of scores anyway.
Right.
But I don't know. That's all I got for you guys, I guess. Thanks for having me on.
We appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for being on to the show, and congratulations on all your success, and good luck with what you're going to be doing in this realm moving forward. We appreciate you.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Have a good day. All right. He had a lot of great points there. I mean,
definitely.
I liked a lot of points that he made. The problem is there's so much that needs to change.
Yes.
This is not going to be an overnight thing. We can't change this I don't even think with one draft, with a couple trades. Like everyone's saying, there are so many holes, there are so many issues from the quarterback to the coaching staff. And I think we've had this conversation over and over again too. Where does it actually start? With the foundation, with the organization. Everyone's touched on Mark Davis a little bit. Nothing has been stable within this organization for decades now.
Yeah.
And that's always going to be a problem.
And what's your expectation? I mean, how much is the salary cap? Isn't it what, 200 million now? Is it 200 million is the salary cap? What is it?
Every year, yeah, something like that.
So 48 million is damn near what, 20-something%?
Yeah.
What do you expect if you're pocketing 20% of the money that you should be spending for the product on the field?
We're at 279.2, it says.
I mean, that's a lot. That's a
When
lot.
you put it that way, Omar.
To Josh's point, I don't disagree. If you're taking this year to evaluate the talent you have on your team, you don't want to spend a lot of your cap. You want to go into next year with over 100 million, and that's when you're going to really open the pockets up. Okay, fine. Then let's allude. You don't have to come out and say that, but let's allude to that. Hey, look, this is our first year here. We're evaluating everybody on the roster. You know what? We have a plan in place going forward. Let's everybody calm down. But once again, we haven't heard anything. All we keep hearing is we're going to compete now, and Gino this, and everything's awesome, and absolutely not. Am I moving JPJ out of to center? I mean, it's just basically almost McDummy, but even worse. It's like McDummy's grandpa, where all you're hearing is we're doing it my way, and this is the way we're going to do it, and that's it. And next question.
I mean, it sounds like BS
for the season here, guys. Real quick. Well, we do want to touch on this. Go, Omar. Finish your point. Let's look at the remainder of the season week by week.
I was just gonna say it sounds like BS too a lot because how can you compete? You bring in your guy, you pay him some money. You do pay Gino some money, but yet you don't give him protection. You draft Genty at 6, but yet you don't give him some blocking. I mean, I get you want to evaluate, but at the same time, protect your investments at least. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which would be just maintaining, making sure you got a good offensive line and to move people out of place, not spend money where you should on, let's just say, if you didn't think JPJ is the best center, well, spend some money on one that is better. You know what I mean? So I don't get it. I just don't get it because competing is not just the players. It's SpyTech competing. Yes. It's coaches competing. You know what I mean? They're competing with other coaches. How do you outcoach other coaches when you got players out of place, when you got money sitting around that should have been okay? You just still have to spend it all, but another $1 million or $2 million for better center, a better guard if necessary. You know what I mean? A better right tackle. Would that have been a better, smarter thing to do? That's all I'm saying.
No, I agree.
So
the Bears, they as soon as Ben Johnson came in, they went out, they rebuilt that entire offensive line. Brought in a new GM, brought in a new coach. Right. Why couldn't we do the same thing? Why couldn't we come in and say this offensive line isn't where it's at? We're going to draft Genty. Let's go rebuild this offensive line.
I mean, they talked about how much Pete Carroll and SpyTech was supposed to be on the same page, and I could have sworn Pete Carroll was that kind of ground, that ground game. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? You can't have any type of good ground game without a line. You're not going to have, nothing without a line. You bring in a veteran like Geno Smith. Geno Smith may not make it through the season with all them damn sacks. Yeah. Anyway. Go ahead, Spicy.
All right. Thank you. So just saying real quick, just to adjust it really quickly. We're a team here, so this is our team for this channel for Life on Raider Stories.
Yeah, you got it.
There are an additional links, so you can just find all of us right here. And
right here.
Predictions of the last bit of the season, or not the last, I'm going to say the second half of the season, kind of ish, but not really. Yeah. Shout out to the Raiders yesterday who threw a great event over at the headquarters. If you were ever to go to that, I think it was like $5 that went to charity or something like that. It was hosted by JT the Brick. Lincoln Kennedy was there. Nice. They had multiple screens, got to run around on the field. They had a bar, food trucks, bunch of hot rods and cool cars out there and everything. They busted a bunch of kids because they're trying to recruit new Raiders fans because half of them left yesterday. No, I'm kidding.
They leave before the game is over.
It was a wrap.
They emptied it out.
The Raiders were taking a kney with 2.5 minutes, or letting them take a knee with 2.5 minutes, so everyone gave up. No, but I kid. But yeah, shout outs. That was a good event. So if anyone ever has a chance to go to that, I think it's the first time they've done it. I don't know if they're good.
That is awful.
But it was really cool. It was really cool. And it was good. And it was nice camaraderie. It's nice to go see fellow Raiders fans and things like that. So even though at the end of the day, the game was terrible, it was cool just to be with like fellow fans, talk, hang out, things of that nature. But yeah, so let's go into, are any of these games winnable? That's the question here. Really quick, let me ramble them off. We have the Jags, the Broncos, the Cowboys, the Browns, the Chargers, the Broncos again, the Eagles, the Texans, the Giants who are looking good, and then the Chiefs again. Are any of these winnable? And if so, how many are and which games? Arthur, you go ahead and go first. Let me know what you think. Are any of them winnable? How many and which ones?
I don't see one win in our remaining schedule. Before the season, I thought the Browns was going to be a win. I thought we could beat the Jags. I thought we'd split with Denver. I thought we'd maybe beat the Giants. Those are all teams that picked in the top 5 last year, just like we did. That Browns defense looks really good. And I mean, offensively, they could put up points. Junkins, their rookie running back, just had 3 touchdowns yesterday. I mean, I don't see us beating them. Maybe the Jags, if you catch the Jags, I mean, that's a home game, and sometimes they don't play so well on the road. But I mean, other than that, Denver didn't look great yesterday, but their defense is still pretty good. The
They put up
Giants,
what
like you
30
said, are looking
points and
good.
8 and what was or they were down
33
by 8
points in the fourth quarter.
with 30 points in the fourth quarter. That's
Yeah,
incredible against
Yeah.
the Giants team that was looking pretty good, pretty
looked
energetic,
really good. Yeah,
like rejuvenized. They
Yeah.
were and they kind of collapsed there. I'm
Yep.
still thinking that still could maybe be one of the winnable games, but we shall see.
yeah.
Arthur says
don't
none,
see
huh? So
wins.
we're losing out. You think we're going to lose out?
I don't think we're losing out. I just don't see us. I'm not going into any game like I did with the Titans game, like I did with the Patriots game, even first game. Like there were games this year already that we played that I said the Bears game. I was I was at Omar's house that day and I said this is the game we should win. No problem. Like there was games on our schedule before the season started. I thought the Giants would have been a game that we could win. I thought the Browns. I just don't. I'm not going into any game and gonna sit down. I'll be at the Cowboy game. I'm not going into any game saying, "Oh yeah, we're winning this game today." I don't have that feeling. I think that could we win? Somehow get on the lucky side and win one or two, maybe. But there's nothing in there that says, "Oh yeah, this is a winnable game for the Raiders."
Omar?
I mean, based on what I have seen in these 7 games, I would say that the teams that we have a chance with, because if you look at what we've done, we've beat bad teams.
Yes.
Or at least a team that wasn't developed yet, because when we played the Patriots, they were still, it was the start of the season, rawest team lost. Let's just say. And then the Bears, they were kind of getting better and better, and we were close on that game. Block punt, we break down on special teams. We showed who we are, and then we beat a bad teams in the Titans. So if this is the slowest start in Raider history, we may be able to win against the Browns and I think in Jacksonville. But if the way we continue, where we have all that inconsistency, breakdowns on special teams, defense, offense, breaking down. You look at yesterday, only sack we got is when we called, I believe, a blitz and Jamal Adams came with that sack. Other than that, there was no sacks. Our D-line was just getting, they were just getting manhandled. So
they made kind of a mockery out of the Raiders. Let's just call it right.
And,
the way Mahomes was called. Oh, and this hard count. This never effing works. Just never. They weren't even trying for a hard count. They were just toying with them.
Right. And what they do, run a draw and get the first down on 4th and 1. I mean, and the one thing we don't see that fight. We don't see these guys fighting tooth and nail on every down that gives you any kind of confidence that they could pull one out. You know what I mean? So number one, that has to change. We got to also get back one of the best. We got to get back the best tight end in the league in Brock Bowers, which I hope with this bye week he can get healthy, and hopefully that can do something to help this offense out. Coaching changes. Can we call some things that's going to help this damn O-line? Can we call more blitzes on the defense to help the defense out? Because that whole zone, those safeties and those DBs, man, I'm sorry. Chin is probably the only bright spot in that secondary.
Right.
And Absolutely. That's it. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, he's not a burner. You know what I mean? So it's not like he can cover lots of ground very quickly, but he plays his role very well, unlike, those two corners. So it's, like I said, it's hard. I see at best right now a couple of wins. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we start seeing some fight, and then that will definitely change. Because then if we can just hang in there and fight, then we have a chance for those, to get momentum and take advantage of whatever is brought our way. But right now we can't even take advantage of anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I see maybe I'm looking at what's left here. I'm thinking maybe 2. Maybe they can pull out 3. I'm hoping that they can beat, let's see, the Browns. I still think they can beat the Giants. We don't know where the Giants are going to go. They had the kind of like these few games that they're really fun to watch and things like that. But they're still a very beatable team.
But they got fight. The one thing the Giants have is they got fight. They got lots of fight in them. 100%. And they'll be further along by the time we play them in December. So that's why I'm not even counting that one as a dub unless we get some fight. And then I'm going
to throw the Cowboys in. I'm going to say they won against the Cowboys at home, Monday Night Football, unless it gets flexed.
We
I
gotta
mean,
hope the cowboy it up.
I like this fun, interesting fact here. Thank you for sharing. He says the Raiders had a game in 1974 where they only had 26 passing yards, also against the Chiefs. So that's not the greatest record to sort of match there, but it is an interesting fact. So thank you for that. He also goes on to say, we were trying to lull the Chiefs into a false sense of security so that we can surprise them next game when we really tried. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I think that one, and now we're going to win it all out and be 12-5 at the end of the season. I think we can just bundle those theories all into the same thing.
And then one last thing, something I forgot to say when I called in, it seems like the players don't like or trust each other. There's no chemistry at all. We have heard a little bit of rumors about what's going on in the locker room. Obviously we don't know if there's truth to any of that, but listen, when you win 2 games and you're scoring 2 touchdowns in 3 games, and you're putting up 0 points and only 2 field goals in one of those 3 games, you're going to have turmoil in the locker room, right? They'd sit there and say, we don't want to point fingers and it's on me and it's not this person's fault and this and that and the other. But there's got to be some sort of tension in there. Like nobody wants to be embarrassed. Really what it is week after week.
Yeah.
Right. And how much chemistry can you get to if you're not comfortable with your role? You know what I mean? Like JPJ playing guard, and you know what I mean? These guys maybe being asked to do things they're not good at. So they're not feeling very confident. It's hard to kind of gel and be fluid, you know what I mean, in a situation that you're like, shit, dude, I'm fucking up. You know what I mean?
Or if you are playing in your natural position, but you have to also make up for someone who's not playing in their natural position because they're fucking up. So you're doing your job, but you also got to do the next man's job because he can't do it. So yeah, it's gonna happen.
All right, our boy Travis always try to find a silver lining.
There you go.
We're not 0-7.
0-7.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. We're not 0-7.
I think he said he was at the event yesterday too. Sorry, I missed you, buddy. I didn't see you out there. It would have been nice to say what up.
Yep.
All right, guys. Any final thoughts going into this bye week?
Well, I hope guys get healthy. That's, I guess, the biggest thought for me is, I would love this bye week to produce health, get a healthy Max Crosby, not traded, of course. Hey, I would even like.
Go on to say that was precautionary. So maybe they just saw the writing on the wall and he got, there was a low block there. So he probably had a little aggravation in his knees and his legs. It was precautionary.
And I think if they don't trade Jacoby Meyer, that could at least reinforce that we still want to compete and not giving up on the season. So I hope he is still with us in 2 weeks, because I think that'll say a lot. And I think they need anything they can do to give this team some confidence. They need to do to have any kind of chance. So I hope he stays.
What's good, Rock? I want to just talk on this comment for a minute. He said, "Hard to fight when there's nothing to play for." I disagree.
Totally disagree.
There's certainly something to play for. First of all, like self-respect, confidence, not being embarrassed, maybe turning the season around, looking for some positive momentum into the next season, having camaraderie in the locker room, having respect from your peers and from your fans. Like, I think there's actually a lot to play for. I think there's always 100%. A lot to play for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, wait, and hell, even if you think selfishly, play for your money. Your stats.
Play for your money. Play for your stats.
Even if you're selfish, play for your stats. Play to just beat the guy lining up across from you. You know what I mean? Like, hey, you're not going to beat me. I can give a damn what's the score say. I can give a damn what our records say. You are not going to beat me. I mean, seriously, like I say, I could just break it down to the 2 most selfish things possible, that if I didn't care about anything else, I'm going to care about my stats, and I'm going to care that this motherfucker who's lined up across from me, you ain't going to beat me. You know what I mean? And so... yeah, there's always something to fight for. Like I say, it's your own character, you know what I mean? And so, like you say, self-respect and your work ethic, those are always the things that are going to follow you from, if you ain't going to be a Raider and you're going to go to the next team, those things follow you. So, yeah, but I think we got to keep it together, man. We got to get guys healthy.
I get where his frustration is coming from.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So, and I think morale can do that. Morale can suck the life out of you. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, that's when you got to remind yourself that you're paid to do a job. You know what I mean? That's where you just kind of got to have your own internal compass that says, hey, I'm going to wake up, put my best foot forward. And that's it. That's your end all. That's your back against the wall. So,
That's it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone in the chat. Thank you, April, for calling in. Thank you, Josh, for calling in. Welcome to the show.
Hobo Raider, appreciate you.
Yeah, come back.
Yeah,
definitely. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We appreciate, and as always, we'll see you on every Monday Night Madness, and we encourage you all to keep calling in. We love you. We can have the show without you. So, Raider Nation, we go out one way and only
one way.
Raiders!
Raiders!